Hey, 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 Nashville. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason here on News Radio 1510 WLAC. We're here every week as your local health and wellness experts. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Baker.
And I'm Dr. Jason Reinhardt.
My office is down in Brentwood, and Dr. Jason is down in Franklin.
Yep. And that's the whole purpose of our shows, talk about health and wellness, give you guys helpful tips so that you can improve your health. Small bite-sized pieces that you can apply right now to get you moving away from sickness and disease and towards a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. And if you've caught our show in the past or in the last few months, we've had a lot of different topics in wide ranging from talking about children and adult health as well as preventative care, athletes. What else have we talked about?
We've talked about all kinds of things, and that brings up an interesting point, too, is I want to give a shout-out to anybody out there that has a health-related field. We love to hear about, what you are doing, too, and connect with you. And you can always visit our website to get in contact with us, and that's aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. But, whether it's bone broth or it's boxing or it's CrossFit, if it's health-related, we'd love to connect with you.
Absolutely. We're putting together a trusted network of local, but also, national providers for not just our local listeners here in Nashville, but for everyone.
Yeah. And our goal is to become a health resource for you so that you have a place that you can tune into or a website that you can visit to say, hey, I wonder what Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason have to say about that. Hey, I wonder if Dr. Liz or Dr. Jason knows a chiropractor in this area, knows a health professional in this area, knows a good exercise place in this area. We want to be that resource for you.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of work putting that stuff together, but I feel like it's something that is included in my passion in life by getting that message out, not just to my local Nashvillians, hey y'all, but just to America in general.
Yeah. And let's do a little recap. Last week, one of the things, we're always talking about ways to promote health. Dr. Liz did a workshop in her office. Tell me about that. How did it go?
Yeah, we did a weight loss workshop in my office. And I know we talked about it on the show last week, and I guess I should have added that this particular workshop, I was not trying to sell a single thing.
No,
Believe it or not, there was no magical drops or pill or shake or potion that I was trying to sell. No multi-level marketing company for you to join or some expensive product that you needed to buy. What the workshop really was is just facts, just straightforward facts, things that people don't know, things that people are confused about. And I gave them just 10 good myths about weight loss. Yeah,
and in fact, everyone who attended got more for their dollar than they spent because I think you charged $10.
$10.
Got them a healthy meal and wine and information. So not only did you not sell anything, you actually gave them more than they paid for.
Yeah, they got probably the equivalent of a $15 dinner and some information that they were diligently taking notes on, which I thought was awesome. We had people with their pen and paper really going and taking notes on their smart iPhones and things like that. But we also did some little taste testing. People that were asking questions about something called bulletproof coffee, which is where you put basically oil and butter in your coffee. And a lot of people think that sounds disgusting. So what I did was whipped up a batch right for them right there, and they all thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I start my morning, and I know you start your morning, and we've actually... and
I don't even like coffee.
No, and we've actually, spoke with Dave Asprey, the creator of Bulletproof, and his stuff is rock solid. Just his science, his research, he's really cutting edge, and Bulletproof is a great, great thing to add to your diet.
Yep. Not only your diet as far as weight loss goals, but just a good preventative measure for brain health. There's a lot of research and, healthy fats are necessary for your cognitive function as well as brain health, whether you're trying to avoid and ward off dementia and Alzheimer's, but just day to day, just being on your toes, being at your best. I really feel like I concentrate better. I function better. Especially with our jobs, we have to be on our toes from 1 minute to the next because from one patient to the next, you could be in two different worlds from one story to the next story.
Yeah, and Dave Asprey is an interesting guy. He's all about hacking your own health. His main topic is mitochondria, the energy packets of every cell. But he's a huge chiropractic fan. And one of the big things that's, in research with chiropractic that's going on right now is how the chiropractic adjustment actually stimulates brain activity. So it exercises the brain, which is with things like dementia and Alzheimer's and all these cognitive function or decline in functioning diseases that are going on right now. It's really being researched as a way to increase brain health.
And not only him, there's a couple of other doctors. One who used to be pretty local here, Dr. Sullivan, he's really into that neurological connection as well as a couple of other doctors around the country.
Yep. And as always, you are listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason right here on 1510 WLAC. We're your local health and wellness experts. We're chiropractors. We love being chiropractors. We love serving our community. Dr. Liz is located in Brentwood, Tennessee. I'm in Franklin, Tennessee.
And if you would like an appointment with either Dr. Jason or myself, each week we have a limited number of spots. And this week I actually have less than usual because I decided to take a little time off. So, but we have a limited number of spots each week for our listeners. If you guys want to come have your health assessed by us, you can always give us a call, 615-727-3107. Or if you don't have a pen handy, just remember A Guide to Healthy Living Radio.com. You can check us out there and figure out how to contact us through our website. But each week we offer a limited number of spaces to come see us, my office in Brentwood or his down in Franklin. Or let's say you're not in either of those areas. Still, check us out, give us a call, and maybe we can find somebody in your area that we trust.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. There's so many people that are looking for a way to find out more about chiropractic. It's one of those topics where so many people know so little about it, and they're really willing to say, I've heard such great things, or I have a friend, or whatever. I don't really know where to start. This is a great place to start. It's a $20 investment in your health. We'll sit down with you. We'll go over what's going on with you, and we'll show you a different way than possibly the drugs and surgeries that you're presented with right now.
Right. So that's what we're going to actually be talking about today. So when we get back from this short break, we want to talk about the difference of drugs and surgery versus the way that we look at the body. Chiropractors and other health practitioners who look at the body in a different vitalistic way as opposed to a mechanistic way.
Yeah. Your body as a whole, everything functions together to give you the same result. You're not a neck, you're not a back, you're not just a liver, you're everything working together. And that's this word we're going to talk about when we get back called homeostasis, how it all works together.
You may remember that word from your high school biology class, but we will give you a refresher on what that word actually means. But that's what we're focused on in our office as well as other chiropractors. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason, and we'll be right back.
Yep, we'll be back. Welcome back. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason right here on WLAC 1510. We're your local health and wellness experts. When we last left you, we were talking about basically how we look at health. We're talking about an inside-out approach versus an outside-in approach.
Yeah, and what that means is we look at the body as a self-healing entity as we were created and designed to be versus what can we do from the outside to fix it.
Yep, and it never amazes me. The body is amazing. I see patient after patient every week come in that if you were in an automobile, you would be a broken down scrap, probably in the junkyard.
Hunk of junk.
But yet their bodies are adapting to the environment and doing the best that they can to still give that person some degree of health. It is amazing what the body can do under horrible circumstances, but what's even more amazing is what it can do if you start giving it what it needs. The problem is most people have no idea what it needs or how to manage their own health.
Or maybe they already do know, but maybe they're just ignoring it because they feel fine.
Well, and one of the big things that Dr. Liz says, and I love this, she says, health ain't hard. Well, you say y'all.
Health ain't hard, y'all.
And it isn't. You just need a guide, which is what we want to be for you, to show you what you need to do to achieve a healthy outcome.
Yeah, and for the most part, I mean, if you're looking at a Big Mac and a bowl of broccoli, that decision is not hard to figure out which one's healthier. It's just, are you going to make the self-controlled choice to pick the healthier one? There are some really easy options to choose one versus the other. It's just, are you going to do it?
Yeah. And
there's some willpower involved.
Yeah, there is. And here in America, we've been taught to judge our health by how we feel. You feel good, you're healthy. You don't feel good, then you need to take action and either cover it up or mask it or do something so that you
Feel good again.
or feel nothing and then pretend you're healthy again. That's why our two biggest killers, heart disease and cancer, by the time you feel symptoms of either one, usually it's too late. So
You're well into the disease process at that point.
Yeah, and again, we've been taught it's an outside in. You're not healthy, you need to basically take something, because your body's deficient in aspirin or some other medicine, or we need to go in there and remove something and cut it out, and then you're going to be healthy. And I'm not saying there's not a time and a place for everything.
Absolutely.
Thank goodness we have surgeries and medical procedures and things like that for crisis care and other circumstances. But there's many other circumstances where all those symptoms are your body screaming out, not because it needs aspirin or needs something cut out. It needs you to get on board and get healthy and give it what it needs.
Right. And there's time and a place for emergency medicine. And there's no greater country in the world to be if you get your leg hacked off in a car accident.
Yep.
I would rather be here than in the middle of, I don't want to call out any particular countries, but, the middle of nowhere that doesn't have any sort of health, hospital or surgical procedures at all.
Right.
We're in the best country for emergency medicine by far. But there's a reason we're at the bottom of the list when it's just general health.
Yeah,
We're at the bottom of the list almost.
Yeah. And I can't remember where the World Health Organization ranked us in terms of
42nd.
Oh, 42nd. There you go.
42nd.
I think also I read a statistic.
Although we're first in spending, we spend the most on healthcare.
Well, yeah, we spend, and it's not really health care that
An
we're spending.
astronomical amount.
Yeah, we do.
By far away from the others.
And if, I always say if drugs and surgeries and medicines and hospitals and all of that equaled health, we should, as Americans, be the healthiest population that has ever graced this planet. And instead, we're one of the sickest.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to go over today. Before the break, I reminded you of a little word that you may have heard back in biology class, or maybe you took biology in college, but it's a word called homeostasis. And this is just a general word when we're talking about physiology, where the body wants to be at equilibrium. And that's kind of the vague definition of that word. But your body is constantly trying to deal with the external environment, and it's going to change its internal environment in response to that. So if you, let's say you go outside and it's really hot, what happens? You sweat. That's your body's homeostasis trying to balance your internal temperature by releasing sweat to help cool the skin, to help cool the body. That's homeostasis. That's your body working like it's supposed to. The opposite of that, let's say you go outside and it's freezing cold, your hair stands on end, you get, I call them little chicken skin or goosebumps or whatever you want to call them, and you shiver. And that's the opposite reaction to trying to stay warm. These are normal things that your body does. But those are the things that are happening on the outside. It's not always what you can see on the outside that's going on the inside.
Yeah, most definitely. And your body has an amazing intelligence in it. We call it an innate, inborn intelligence. It's something that when you came into this world you had. It's the way that your heart beats, your lungs breathe. You can even go eat a very poor, I guess in terms of nutrition, meal, and your body can still grab some nutrients out of it.
It tries.
And it all works through your nervous system, and that's what chiropractors are. We are nervous system docs. We adjust the back to get at what is housed and protected within that spinal column, and that's your spinal cord and all the nerves that exit. By removing interference to that, it allows your body to get back to what Dr. Liz was just saying, this fancy word homeostasis, get back into balance, work the way that it's supposed to. And if you put your body that way, it's going to give you great health.
Yeah, and before the break as well, I mentioned two other different words, vitalistic and mechanistic. We look at the body in a vitalistic way, meaning I think vita is maybe the Latin derivative of life.
Yeah. I would go with that.
And then mechanistic is more like mechanical, that kind of thing. We are looking at the body in a mechanical way to do what we need to do as far as the adjustments and getting things moving properly, but we're not looking to add anything to it to fix it, if that makes any sense.
Yep. We're looking to remove interference so that it can function the way it was designed to at its highest level.
Right. Medicine, though there's a time and a place for it, always looks at what biochemical change needs to happen to fix a problem, whereas we look at what biomechanical change needs to happen to fix the problem so that your body can heal itself. Medicine looks at, this is low. How can we give yourself a chemical to bring it up and make it high again? Whereas we look at this is low, what is causing it to be low, and how do we fix that? Because it's always in response to something else.
And in our offices, we look at symptoms for what they are. They're not something that need to be covered up or masked or suppressed. They're feedback. They're your body talking to you saying there is an underlying problem. We want to use that, but that's as far as it goes. We say, okay, of course, nobody wants back pain. No one wants headaches. But we know that if we listen to what the body's telling us and we say, let's remove the underlying cause, the back pain and the headaches are going to go away.
Right. It may not be, sometimes we'll take a medicine or a pill to make the headache go away, and it goes away, an hour?
Yeah.
But that underlying cause is still present. You're just not feeling it now.
Yep.
It's still present. It's still there, causing some sort of damage or degeneration. And oftentimes that headache will return later in the same day, maybe the next day, maybe next week. Just depends on how severe that underlying damage already is, how fast it's going to come back.
Yeah. And if you're somebody out there and your body is screaming at you or maybe whispering to you saying, hello, listen to me. I'm giving you all these warning signs that Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason are talking about. We want to see you. We want to show you a different way. We want you in our office. We want to make it affordable, which we do. We offer every week a $20 investment in your health. And what that $20 covers is either to come in Dr. Liz's office in Brentwood or my office in Franklin. We're going to sit down with you. We're going to go over what is going on in your body. We're going to do, if needed, detailed x-rays. We're trained with about 800 other chiropractors in the United States to do a motion study so we can see how those bones are moving or not moving, where they're putting pressure on your nervous system. And we're going to tie that all together with how you're basically functioning and why you're having your symptoms, and we're going to show you another way. We do all that for $20. So if we're talking to you and you're sitting there going, I need this, then you can get in contact with us two ways. You can go visit our website, aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. You can get in touch with us there or take action now. Give us a call, 615-727-3107. Now, that offer does not include Medicare, and there's a few other restrictions that are not imposed by Dr. Liz or myself, but unfortunately, we have to follow.
Yeah. Talk to your Congress people. That's my excuse or my answer to that always. Talk to your congressman. But back to what we were talking about, medicine's looking to add foreign chemical substances to your body to remove that particular stress. We look at, let's remove the stress.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the stress from the body, whatever that stress may be, whether it's nerve interference stress, maybe it's a digestive, nutritional stress. But when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, exactly what we mean by that. But we look at the body to increase its function naturally.
Yeah, and when we get back, I want to raise, I just thought about this, a question where a patient got mad at me, said, are you always so healthy? It's really annoying.
Somebody told you were annoying by being healthy?
For being healthy. So.
Well, I'd like to hear this story. You haven't told me this one yet. So when you tune in, or sorry, you're already tuned in, but when we get back, you'll hear this story from Dr. Jason on A Guide to Healthy Living. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, y'all. Hey, did that sound good?
Close enough.
Well, I'm trying. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and myself, Dr. Jason, here on WLAC 1510.
You were going to tell us a story.
Was I going to tell us a story? Oh, yeah. Do you ever get this? It's always interesting when a patient will say things. You don't know where they're going, and they start off by saying, are you always so annoying? I'm like, oh, man, what did I do now?
No. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm pretty hyperactive, so I'm sure if somebody said that to me, I wouldn't think twice.
I was like, what did I do now? But anyways, I take it as a compliment, and it was a compliment. They said, you're always happy, you're always in a good mood, which no one is always happy or always in a good mood. But I love what I do, and I love to help people, and I love, like what we're doing right now, showing people there's another way and being along that journey to get them healthy. But they were saying, you're always smiling, you're always in a good mood, and they're like, you never miss a day of work. And I thought about it, and for, 17 years, I've missed one day of work, and that was due to food poisoning.
That's better than my track record. I've only missed 3 days in 7 years.
And they're like, it's just so annoying. And they had a good point. They're like, you have people in your office that have the flu, that have all kinds of sicknesses. And in fact, when people are sick, they'll call my office quite frequently and they'll say, I'm sick, I shouldn't come in. And I'm like, no, you need to come in because the nervous system controls the immune system. And it's the best thing that I can give you right now to promote your healing is to remove interference and soup up your immune system. So we have sick people around us all the time. And they're saying, I don't understand. You probably come in contact with sick people more than just about anyone I know. Why aren't you sick?
Because an adjustment boosts your immune system by about 400 to 600%.
Yep. And you know what? We, Dr. Liz and myself, I guess that's the
But we also feed ourselves well, too.
We practice what we preach. We're on the front lines. Nothing that we're going to tell you to do, we haven't already gone through ourselves. And it's a lifestyle.
Wouldn't do. Yeah.
Our lifestyle, the basis of it is chiropractic. The reason being is your nervous system controls every aspect of your life. So what's more important to have tuned up? And to me, it doesn't make sense to say, well, of course you want good nutrition, but if the nerves that make your stomach digest are only working at 60%, you can put the best food in you, but you're going to get 60% of that benefit. Why not get your nervous system working right and put the best food in and get 100%?
Exactly. And that's how we look at the body, not just Dr. Jason and myself, but many other vitalistic chiropractors throughout the country.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a huge cutting edge turn out there. And it's happening on a twofold. It's happening on the doctor side where doctors are saying, you know what, we are about this vitalistic life. The body all works together. We can't just cut things out. We can't just add things to it. We need to figure out ways to get the body healthy and work with the intelligence that's in the body. And then there's also a huge number of patients that say, I am tired of the path that I'm on. I'm tired of drugs. I'm tired of now needing more drugs. I'm tired of now being told, now I'm a surgical candidate. I know that I'm not all of a sudden, deficient in the health of my body. I'm not just blessed with, Delta bad deck of cards in terms of my genes. So why am I getting such cruddy health where other people are experiencing great health?
And sometimes those people are older.
Yeah.
Sometimes those people are doing things just a little bit differently on the back end.
And health is fun. I mean, Dr. Liz and I, we go out to farmers markets. We do all kinds of things, and it is so fun to try new things. Health ain't hard, as Dr. Liz said, and health can be exciting, trying different things. There's so many ways out there to soup up your body, to soup up your health, and it feels so good to be healthy.
I mean, even a good example, on my way to the studio just today, I was snacking on a bowl of tiny tomatoes.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. Little small tomatoes. That was my snack in the car today. I could have made 1,000 other choices as far as a snack. I could have grabbed a cookie. I could have grabbed a bag of chips, a thing of microwave popcorn. There's many other things I could have chosen, but I chose, I call a tomato a vegetable, but it's really technically a fruit. But I chose something that was good for me.
Yeah. And that's what we help people with is all of those choices. But I'll tell you what, when you get the biggest choice in order, and that is what controls every aspect of your life, which is your nervous system, which is what we're experts in, everything else starts to fall into place.
You start feeling better, so you start having more willpower to continue to feel better.
Yeah. And then it gets easy because you start seeing the changes, not only in how you look, but what's truly going on, how you feel and how you function.
We look at the body from the inside out. What can we do to improve the inside so that we feel better on the outside?
And if you're someone out there that says, you know what, I'm tired of feeling horrible. I'm tired of waking up every day and just saying, I guess it's as good as it gets. I'm tired of
being tired.
Yeah, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired, the people that say, I forgot what it feels like to feel good. We're speaking to you and we're saying, you know what, take action now. And because here's the reality, if you don't do anything different, you're going to keep getting the same result.
Isn't that the definition of insanity?
I think it is.
Yeah.
So take action now. Go to our website, a guide to healthylivingradio.com. Give us a call, 615-727-3107. 3107. You know what? And like Dr. Liz and I have already said prior, we every week offer a limited amount of appointments, and they fill up fast. But
and I even have less this week than usual.
Yeah, because Dr. Liz doesn't have as many office hours because she's taking personal health days for herself.
I'm just taking time off for a mental break.
But if you want to come in, and we're urging you to come in, make that $20 investment in your health. We're going to sit down with you. We're going to go over what's going on. We're going to do detailed examinations. If needed, we're going to do precise motion study x-rays that we're about 2 people of about 800 chiropractors that know how to do this, so we can see exactly how those bones are moving or not moving. And we're going to put it together for you to say, this is why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, and this is what's possible for you. And that's all for $20.
Just to find out.
I mean, it's the best investment you can make in your health, and that's why we offer it to you.
You probably spend $20 on more stupid stuff in the week than your health.
Yeah, I guarantee people spend that more on coffee.
Yeah. Well, to your point I wanted to make there, you said I was taking some time off for a mental health day. I'm not having a sick day. I'm actually taking time off while I'm well to do, stuff for myself, as opposed to an emergency time off when you're sick and you're spending your time off stuck in bed.
Well, and the body's so smart. You can either listen to how it works and work with it and do like what Dr. Liz is saying and saying, I'm going to take periodic days off for my own personal health, or you can push it to the limits, which most Americans do. And then guess what? The body's going to force you because it's going to break down with sickness and disease.
It's going to make you take a sick day.
It'll make you.
It sure will. In terms of the nervous system, medicine looks to suppress whatever that symptom actually is. It uses chemicals from the outside, pills, shots, whatever, to suppress some sort of symptom. Whereas we look at and want to support why the reason that symptom is there in the first place. So let's just take high blood pressure, for example. Now, in some cases, for some people, medicine is going to be the only option for them, and they need to continue taking that. But I've had a number of people, I've lost count at this point, and I've only been in practice 7 years, but I've lost count how many people I've actually gotten off or gotten to reduce their high blood pressure medication because we gave them some good tips for, nutrition and things to help fuel their body better. But also we worked on some of the underlying causes of why their heart wasn't working like it was supposed to. I found misalignments in the nerve root area that leads to the heart. We fixed those misalignments, and over time, they started feeling actually worse for a little bit because their medication was lowering their heart rate or their blood pressure too much because we were naturally lowering it. And on top of that, their chemical interference was lowering it further. And that's how they were able to get off the medication, is because we lowered it too much.
Yep. And we love working with your medical care providers. And by no means are we saying stop taking your meds.
No.
But what we're saying is if you do something different and you get your body functioning better, there's a great possibility that you don't need that med anymore because now the body is working.
Yeah.
And we always work with physicians, and we always say check in with your physician. And there's responsible ways to get off meds if it's possible for you.
And a good question I always tell my patients is, once you are put on a medication, there's a reason for it, and it may be an emergency reason, a crisis reason, but the very first question you need to be asking your doctor is, okay, I understand why you're putting me on X. How do I get off of it?
Yeah, what's the exit strategy?
What's my exit strategy? I get it. I need to take this for a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. What are the goals to get off? How do I get off of it?
And when we come back, let's talk about how a lot of times there is no exit strategy. It's just put you on and monitor strategy.
That's true, too. Sometimes you can't get back off of that.
Yeah, or they don't have a desire to get you off because they already have you where they want you. Why should we get you off?
Oh, we're getting into conspiracy theory stuff now. So that should be pretty interesting when we get back. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living. Check us out online at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. We'll be back in just a minute with some good conspiracy theory stuff.
Stay tuned.
All right, Nashville, we're back with A Guide to Healthy Living. I was just laughing at our producer because he threw us for a loop. We thought we were going on, and then we weren't.
Then silence. We're like,
and then it was silence.
Did we just touch something wrong?
I thought Dr. Jason messed things up.
But we're back, and like Dr. Liz said, this is A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason. Visit our website, aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. We have all kinds of cool stuff on there. Dr. Liz works very hard to put videos up and all kinds of health things. And also, if you are in health, I don't care if you own a gym, if you're having a supplement, whatever, we'd love to connect with you and hear from you. You can get in contact with us on our website, too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's different people we're going to be reaching out to, not just around Tennessee, but around the rest of the country. People that we trust as healthcare providers as far as what we want to help promote.
Yeah. And if you're a chiropractor out there, we'd love to hear from you too. Touch base because we're always looking for chiropractors in new areas because we get a lot of callers that aren't necessarily in Franklin or Brentwood, and we want to send them to someone that we know that will take good care of them.
Absolutely. So before we went on break, I wasn't really sure where Dr. Jason was going with all this. Our producer mentioned he might have been sitting up on the grassy knoll, if you catch my hint.
Yes, with conspiracy theory, and it wasn't a conspiracy theory, but what I was talking about is in medicine, they like to put you on something and then monitor you. The challenge is they say, let's just use blood pressure for example. You have high blood pressure. They put you on a blood pressure med. They get your levels within normal limits, and then they say, well, let's just keep you on this. Why should we get you off? And
that's a good question. Why would that? That seems pretty easy to me.
Yeah, and I would love it if it was as simple as that, because it just makes sense. It's like you don't need to change your life at all. We've got everything healthy. You know what? You're back within normal limits. Let's just keep going for the rest of your life. The problem is every drug by definition has side effects.
Every drug has a side effect, and whether you're feeling the outward side effect, sometimes they'll have side effects such as headaches, or I think dry eyes is a common one, dry mouth, that sort of thing. But sometimes you don't feel the side effects right away. They take a while to build up.
Watch any TV commercial that has a drug advertisement, and half of it is, someone running through grass and playing with a puppy, and then the other half is all the side effects that are possible with their drug.
Yeah, shut your eyes and quit watching the girl run up and down the beach and actually listen to what they're saying. They're distracting you with the pretty colors and the pretty women.
Yeah, and if drugs and surgery actually equaled what they're advertising all the time, I'd be the biggest proponent. I'd be like, it is the greatest thing. Why not? The challenge is, Dr. Liz and I see it every week in our office where it doesn't work out that way. And if you go that route, the put you on something and monitor and don't do anything to try to improve your health, you're going to eventually develop another problem. And the challenge is then they have another drug for you to get on with that next problem, or a surgery, and you just continue down this medical pathway. I always say, no matter what you do, you are a patient. You can be like Dr. Liz and myself and say, I'm going to be a patient of wellness. I'm going to take the time. I'm going to be proactive and preventative. I'm going to invest in my health because it's my greatest asset, and I'm going to do what I need to do to work with my body and keep it healthy. Or you can say, you know what? I don't feel anything. I'm okay. I'm going to wait till I have problems. And then you could be a patient of modern medicine where there's a drug and a surgery waiting for you. Either way, you're a patient. You choose.
That's true. That's very true. You can choose to take care of yourself, or you can choose to ignore what's going on and take the easy way out and deal with it later.
Yeah, and unfortunately, too, dealing with it later, if it had always a great outcome, I'd be like, yeah, take care of it then. It's kind of like your car. You can do routine maintenance. You can do what you need to do, get your oil changes, get your tires rotated, and the car's going to give you great life. Or you can say, you know what? This is 2017. Cars last forever. I'm not going to change my oil. I'm not going to rotate my tires. I'm not going to tune it up. And you're going to get good life out of that car. But then what's going to happen? You're going to break down. And the mechanic's going to say, where were you for all the checkups? You missed all of these things. Now, because of that, we need to replace this. We need to do this. And here's your big bill. And you know what? You can do that with your car, but you can't just switch out parts of your body.
No, you can't. And I told a story last week or the week before that the timing belt in my car tore up and
I think you called it the thingamajigger.
They got tied around the thingamajigs inside the engine thing and wrapped around the little doohickeys. And if I had just taken it in for its routine maintenance like I was supposed to, I wouldn't have to get a new car. And I think because I was in school, I just didn't have a car for a while because you know what? I couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably could have afforded a new timing belt because apparently those things are like $20.
Yeah. Well, do your routine maintenance. Dr. Liz and I offer a limited amount of spaces every week for you to come in and find out what's going on, find out how you can be healthier, find out what that back pain, neck pain, headaches, what your body is really trying to tell you. It's a $20 investment in your health. You come into our office, you sit down with us, we go over what's going on, we put you through orthopedic, neurologic tests. If needed, we take x-rays. We do a special motion series where we can see how those bones are moving or not moving. And we're going to sit down and we're going to go over all that information with you to show you here is a way to be healthier. Here's what we can do for you. Here is another option. And it's a $20 investment. And if you want to take advantage of that, which I can't urge you strongly enough to do, give us a call, 615-727-3107, or visit our website, aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. This does not include Medicare, and there's a few exceptions that apply. Dr. Liz and I didn't create these, but we got to follow them.
Yeah, that's right. We got to follow the rules, got to follow the laws. Another thing you can find on there is our past episodes. I've taken a lot of time to reorganize the website. I just did a big overhaul of it last weekend, and I uploaded some new episodes. I'm still probably 3 episodes behind because that stuff, YouTube, you take forever for loading things. I don't know why. But we got about 3 more episodes, including this one, to add on there. So now I guess I can say 4 more episodes that are due to show up on there soon. So if you want to follow us on social media, YouTube, Instagram, you can find our links there as well.
Yep. And as Dr. Liz says, health ain't hard, y'all. And my goal, and I hope for everyone out there, is I want you to be accused of being annoying because you're so healthy and you don't get sick. What a great thing.
I know. I had the weight loss workshop, if you caught our show last week or earlier in this episode, weight loss workshop last week. And a couple of the patients there, it was the end of the day. I had seen, I don't know how many people already in the day. We'll say 100 people. And it was the end of the day. And I still had energy and I was still going. And a couple of the patients who have been patients for a while, they were like, Dr. Liz, how do you still function at the end of the day? I'm usually exhausted and wiped out. And it's not that I'm not tired, but I give my body what it needs to function at its best, whether it be good nutrition, whether it be good water, or my adjustments. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, because you're like a Ferrari that's tuned up and ready to go. Unfortunately, most people are a Pinto with flat tires and running on empty.
I don't even know what a Pinto is, but it sounds kind of lame.
Yeah. So get tuned up, get your body going, get accused of being annoying because people say you don't get sick. You know what? You always have such energy. You always have such life in you. You're always healthy. I want that for you. And who doesn't want to feel great? Who doesn't want to wake up in the morning and jump out of bed and say, I'm ready to start this day. I'm ready to seize the day. I feel great. I'm ready to go.
Or maybe not even that. Let's think ahead a little bit. Maybe you've got family. Maybe you've got children who are just now becoming adults. Yeah. Don't you want to be around to see your grandchildren?
But truly be around, to be able to play with them, not
right.
The person that's sitting in the rocking chair that's immobile, that, you know, your biggest requirement each day is making sure you take your pills morning, afternoon, and night.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fun.
No.
If you want to be the cool grandma.
Yeah.
You want to be the cool grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. The one that's out throwing the ball, running around, doing all the fun stuff. The one that says, you know what, Grandpa, man, I can never tire you out.
I know, you can run circles around me.
Yeah, but
not
you
that
know
you're
what?
a grandpa.
But again, if you practice what you preach, you're going to get the result. And that's what I tell people that come into my office. Some people say, like, I can't believe I have diabetes, or I can't believe I'm overweight. And I'm sitting there in a nice way saying, I can't believe it's taken you this long to get to that point.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
Nope.
All disease process happens over time. It's all just about how much time you let it happen.
Yeah, and if you do what everybody else does, you need to expect to get the same result. You can't eat junk food every day and think, well, I'm not the one that's going to be out of shape and, overweight.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Honestly, I have a cheat meal once or twice a week. That's fine. But it's only once or twice a week. It's not every day. You
can still live. Health ain't hard, y'all. We're not saying you have to eat twigs and berries for the rest of your life. We're still saying you can have the fun. We're just going to show you a different way to do it.
And you know what? Once you get doing it, the more you do it, the easier it is. Once you start cutting some of those things out of your diet that right now you think is going to be impossible to do.
Or replacing with good, healthy options.
Or replacing.
Yeah.
You know what? It gets easy. I don't miss some of the stuff that I never thought I could live without. I'll be honest. As a kid, I ate a lot of macaroni and cheese. I can't remember the last time I ate macaroni and cheese, and I don't even crave it. I don't want it. I think probably, I don't know, Thanksgiving might be the only time of the year I eat something like that because, you know what, I'm allowed a cheat meal every once in a while.
Or adding something into your lifestyle like a chiropractic adjustment, which removes interference to your nervous system, which controls every aspect of your life. It amazes me when I see patients come into my office, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or older, and they've never, ever, ever been adjusted. They have all that interference in their nervous system. They have never tuned it up. And I'm just sitting there going, my goodness. And I think about my kids. I adjusted each one of my daughters the second they were born. And they've been adjusted ever since then. I live my life as Dr. Liz. We get adjusted every week to clear out the interference so our nervous systems can give our bodies the best communication, the best function, the best life possible. I just can't. It just blows me away to think how people do it that never get tuned up.
I know. And even sometimes I feel like I've failed my patients when they ask me, well, Dr. Liz, how often do you get adjusted? And I say at least once a week, sometimes more than that. And then they seem surprised that I would still be needing them that often. And it's not that I need it. I want my body to function better. It's not that I'm in pain. It's not that I have headaches or back pain or neck pain. It's preventing that from coming back for sure. But I'm getting adjusted every week to keep my body functioning at its best, and you should be doing the same thing.
Yes.
So each week, we have a limited number of spaces available in our office, and I have a less number available this week than I normally do. So give us a call, 615-727-3107, or check us out at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. And we're about to wrap things up for the week.
Yeah, and when we come back next week, tune in. We're going to talk about more health. I want to ask Dr. Liz about some of the things that she's been cooking for kind of springtime.
Yeah.
Which are good at health. We're going to talk about your nervous system. We're going to talk about headaches and back pain. We're going to talk about other things that drive people in our office.
So let's hear from you guys. Check us out online. Follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.